Think about those times, when you're totally alone in your own house, maybe.
Yeah, that quiet. It can be nice.
Right. Peaceful. But have you ever felt that shift, that feeling where maybe you're not quite alone after all?
Oh, yeah. That little prickle on the back of your neck. Definitely.
Well, today we're going to share 3 stories, true stories from the YouTube channel Whisper Diaries.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all about people having these really unsettling, sometimes unexplained experiences when they were completely by themselves.
And what's interesting is how, normal the situations start out.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Exactly, like being homesick or just chilling alone at night or riding out a storm. Things we've all done.
But then something happens. Something shifts. We've got a possible intruder who's closer than you think, a pet acting really strangely, and, a voice that just shouldn't be there.
These are first-hand accounts. Ordinary people, extraordinary fear. Okay, so let's start with the first one. It's called The Unseen Guest.
This one really hits that violation of personal space feeling. Hard.
It's about a kid homesick from school. Alone. Big house, apparently. And there was a side room downstairs nobody really went into much.
Right. So it's mid-morning, 10:30, house is quiet, and the kid starts walking around downstairs.
First thought, mom's home early. Makes sense, right?
Totally logical assumption. You wouldn't immediately jump to what happened next.
So the narrator goes towards the kitchen, maybe to see their mom, and standing in the kitchen doorway, a man.
Just there. 6 feet tall, ragged clothes, a total stranger, inside the house.
Can you imagine the shock, the silence? He's just there.
Yeah, the narrator describes being completely frozen, just staring. And the man apparently had no expression, just looking back.
That lack of expression is almost worse, isn't it? What is he thinking? What's he going to do?
Exactly. It's the unearned intention that's so terrifying. Pure dread.
Finally, the kid snaps out of it. Adrenaline kicks in, I guess, and they just run.
Bolt upstairs. Slam the bedroom door, lock it.
And even push a dresser in front of it, trying to create any kind of barrier.
Yeah, pure panic mode. And interestingly, the first call wasn't 911.
No, they called their mom first.
Which feels very real, that instinct to reach out to a parent when you're scared and alone.
Definitely. Mom tells them, obviously, call the police. So they do.
Police arrive, search the whole house, find nothing.
Nothing. No forced entry, no sign of the guy.
Nope. Vanished. It's completely baffling. But then, after the parents get back home, one of the officers spots something.
What?
A plastic shopping bag, like a Walmart bag, sticking out from under the couch. In that side room, nobody used.
Oh, no. Don't tell me.
Yeah. They moved the couch, and underneath, hundreds of trash bags, rotting food, family belongings, even human waste.
Wait, what? Hundreds? Under the couch?
Someone had been living there, secretly, inside their house, for weeks, maybe longer.
I have chills living right there, sharing their space. How did they not know?
The narrator mentions that, too. No smell, no noise they ever noticed. It's incredible. And horrifying.
Completely shatters your sense of safety. Just gone.
Understandably, the family completely redid that room afterwards. Turned it into a breakfast nook, something open, used, reclaiming the space.
I bet. Wow, that's a heavy start. The idea of someone just there, undetected.
And the narrator says, years later, it still affects them. How could it not?
Yeah.
Okay, so moving from that hidden presence, our next story, Cecil's Warning, deals with a more direct potential threat.
Right. This one involves a teenager home alone. At night, neighborhood was kind of changing, apparently.
And he describes himself as, a quiet guy, an introvert. Actually looking forward to having the house to himself.
Just a normal night, right? Playing PlayStation, ordered some food, hanging out with his old dog.
Cecil, an old beagle. And this is key. Cecil was usually super chill.
Not your typical noisy beagle.
Exactly. The narrator makes a point of saying he hardly ever barked or howled. Mostly just slept and, begged for scraps. A very calm dog.
Okay, so quiet night, quiet dog. Then what happens?
Around 1 a.m., he hears this bang from the back alley.
Okay. Could be anything, right? Trash cans, whatever.
That's what he thought at first. But Cecil reacts instantly. His fur stands right up.
Ooh, okay. For a normally calm dog, that's a sign.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a loud noise startling him. It was like he sensed something wrong. Then, a few minutes later, another bang. Louder.
And Cecil.
This time, Cecil goes from 0 to 100 leaps off the couch, runs straight for the basement door, the one that leads to the alley.
Okay.
And he's going absolutely crazy, barking, growling like mad. The narrator said he sounded like a guard dog, which was totally out of character.
Wow. So the dog knows something's up. That basement door, was it secure?
Apparently it was old, kind of rusted, hard to open usually, but the banging was persistent. It wasn't random noise anymore. Someone was definitely trying to get in.
Right. Realizing someone's actively trying to break into your house when you're alone? Terrifying.
So the narrator grabs a baseball bat. Maybe not the smartest move, he admits, but what else do you do? He starts heading towards the basement.
And
Cecil just shoots past him down the stairs, like a furry missile apparently, still going ballistic at the door.
Okay.
And then suddenly, the banging stops. Dead silence. Followed by a man's voice, clear as day, just saying, "Oh crap."
Whoa. So Cecil scared him off.
It really seems like it. That sudden, ferocious barking right on the other side of the door must have been enough.
Amazing. Good dog, Cecil.
Seriously. So the narrator, understandably freaked out, decides not to call the cops right then. Just stays up all night, bat in hand, totally wired.
I don't blame him.
The next morning, his brother gets home. They check the basement door, and it's wrecked. It was barely hanging on. Like, one more good shove, and it would have opened.
Wow. So Cecil really did save the day. Or night, I guess.
The narrator absolutely believes Cecil saved him. Maybe saved his life. And he mentions getting frustrated when people would later dismiss it, like, oh, dogs just bark. He knew it was different.
You don't know your own pet, right? You know when something's really off.
Exactly. And he talks about years later, before Cecil passed away, actually thanking him for that night. It's quite touching, that bond.
That's a great story, actually. Scary, but great. Okay, one more. This one, the soft call, takes things in a stranger direction. Maybe supernatural. Unexplained, anyway.
Yeah, this one is less about a physical threat and more about something uncanny. It involves a 13-year-old.
Home during a thunderstorm, right. Tornado Alley, so storms are serious business there.
Right. And because the narrator was a heavy sleeper, the family rule was, big storm, you sleep downstairs in Dad's room for safety.
Makes sense. So they downstairs, storm's raging outside. It's late, like 12:03 a.m. They're just on their phone.
And then they hear it. Their dad's car pulling into the driveway. Distinctly. Like, they mentioned the car's specific bass sound. They knew it was his car.
Okay, so Dad's home from work. He worked nights, right?
Yeah, worked all night. So the expectation is, okay, Dad's home. He'll come downstairs soon. Totally normal. He doesn't. So after a bit, the narrator looks out the window, which has a clear view of the whole driveway.
And
No car. Nothing there. Driveway's empty.
weird. Okay, maybe they misheard storm sounds. Maybe a car on the highway nearby.
That's what they tried to tell themselves. Plus, Dad wasn't actually due home until closer to 2 a.m. anyway, so they try to brush it off.
Odd.
But then the sound comes back. That same distinct car bass. Like the car is there, idling, but it's still not visible.
Okay, that's definitely unsettling. An auditory hallucination, maybe. Stress from the storm.
Maybe. But then it gets even weirder. They hear their dad's cough. His specific cough. Coming from the garage.
Okay, but wait. Did they hear the garage door open?
Exactly. No garage door sound.
Right.
Just the cough, seemingly from inside the garage. The fear level definitely ramps up here. Storm outside, weird sounds inside.
Yeah, I'd be freaked out.
And then, amidst the thunder and rain, they hear their name being called. Softly,
Oh, wow.
in their dad's voice.
Okay, so maybe he did get home somehow, super quietly.
That's the thing. The narrator says they knew, instantly, it wasn't their dad.
Like a gut feeling, that primal, this is wrong feeling.
Exactly that. Just immediate certainty. That's his voice, but it's not him. So they just freeze, listening.
What about the dog? Was there a dog in this story too?
But it was, yeah. The dog was with them downstairs.
Yeah.
And the dog's reaction, it just looked around, kind of confused. Seemed like it didn't hear anything at all.
Whoa. Okay, that makes it even stranger if the dog didn't hear it.
Right. Usually animals pick up on weird things. But here, nothing. So the narrator just stays completely still, quiet, heart pounding, until they eventually fall asleep from fear and exhaustion, I guess.
And the next morning.
They wake up around 4 a.m., look outside. Dad's car is actually there now. He got home safely. They tell him the whole story.
What did he say?
The script doesn't say his reaction, but the narrator emphasizes they don't really believe in ghosts, not traditionally. But they are 100% certain something called their name that night, mimicking their dad's voice.
Wow. Just an unexplainable event. And the feeling it leaves you with, right? That unease in your own home.
And that lingering question, what if they had answered? What if they'd gone upstairs towards the voice?
Chilling.
Definitely chilling. So, yeah, 3 really different stories. An intruder living secretly, a dog warning of danger, and something else entirely calling a name.
But the common thread is that vulnerability, isn't it? Being alone, thinking you're safe in your familiar space, and having that safety just punctured by the unknown.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about those little sounds at night, or that feeling of being watched when no one's there.
Absolutely. These stories remind us that sometimes the most unsettling things happen in the most ordinary places.
Well, thank you for listening along with us to these stories today. We hope they gave you, well, something to think about. Maybe lock your doors tonight.
Yeah, good advice.
If you found these accounts as unnerving and interesting as we did, please do like this video, share it, and definitely subscribe to our channel, Horror Docs, for more narratives like these. We appreciate you tuning in. See you next time.